Hello, welcome to the POSTCAST tonight. David Locke along with Ron Boone. He's joining me. He was looking for a fourth quarter box. Did you find it?
No, I'm good.
All right. I have a final box right here. Jazz play without Derek Favors. They go to 0-11 now in games, which Favors doesn't play. They go to 4-28 when they're missing either Trey, Alec, Gordon, or Derek. So, this is not a team that's necessarily built to win basketball games when they're missing guys. All right, that's enough on that. Played a really good team. I thought they put out a very good effort tonight. They saw a good team clamp down on Washington's a great defensive team. People don't talk about it, the fourth best defensive team in the league. And they just stymied the Jazz in that second and third quarters.
You can look at the first quarter and say you're very impressed with it. I thought I was very impressed there as well, especially with the half-court offense that they were able to, put up. End up scoring 42 points and 38% from the field. Now, that was good enough to be ahead of the Washington Wizards, but I don't think it was good enough to separate themselves because Washington came out and what I thought was a different style than what we saw in the first half because they ran and obviously John Wall was the one that starts all of that.
I think that's how they combated Gobert. I think in the first half they only scored 37 points, a season low allowed by the Jazz in the first half, season low second quarter by 15, and the game plan to deal with Gobert was to outrun him.
I thought Gobert had an impressive ball game. 31 minutes he played tonight, and I was very impressed with that. And if you look at the centers with Nene and Gortat, their numbers together was pretty close to what Rudy's were individually. So I thought I was very impressed. I was you knew that they were very aware of Rudy and how long he is and his ability to block shots, but. I don't know. This team needs they need to show some patience, just like the Washington Wizards has done. And I know sometimes we start nitpicking with certain things, but we realize that this is something that they're going to have to struggle with for a while.
Trey Burke broke the paint more tonight than I've seen him all year long. I thought he was much more aggressive, broke the paint, made some plays, did some things really well.
He's more effective when he can do that, and I think he makes other players around him more effective there as well. I'm really enjoying watching him when he penetrates and there's nothing there. He doesn't pick the dribble up. He dribbles out of traffic in order to get them into something. That tells me that he's starting to grow as a point guard and realizing that if he doesn't pick it up, then he can make something happen for his teammates. But he's shooting the basketball well after struggling at the beginning of the year. But again, boy, he just continues to go up against so many good point guards in the league, and if you don't learn something from this, then he shouldn't be in the league.
John Wall,
yes,
16 points, 6 rebounds, 8 assists, 5 steals, 3 blocks. Whoa!
Yeah,
he was awesome.
But and I think also, David, what I was impressed with John Wall with is how much under control he is now. Remember a couple of years ago or last year, his game was just blowing by people. Just get it and go. Just blow by people and take the type of shots that we see Alec Burks taking quite a bit. And now he seems to be more under control and he's toned his game down. That mid-range jump shot is effective and I think he has a lot of confidence in it. And again, I asked you this question during the course of the ball game: is he an all-league player? I think he has to be talked about. Considered.
Let's go to the questions. From Ryan Dangerfield, according to Rudy Gobert's plus-minus, he was the largest efficiency on the team tonight. However, according to the eye test and the stat line, he had a good game. Which do you think is more accurate? I think they're both accurate, actually. Yeah. Here's what happens, Ryan, a little bit, I think, from the eye test. The eye test of most fans is the block shot, the highlight, and those kind of plays. Tonight, Rudy played against, top-line guys for an extended period of time. For the first time in his career, he was still very effective. He still had a large impact on the game. But there's also some areas where then his deficiencies show up. We have a hard time scoring when he's on the floor. Actually, if in the first half our defense was as good when he was off the floor as it was on the floor. So I'm not surprised. I hadn't looked at plus-minus. I suspect that to be true, and I suspect also that when I go back and run the numbers tonight, that I'll see that the Wizards shot a higher percentage with Rudy on the floor than off the floor. For the first time, we've seen that all year, and a little bit of that then starts to tell you that part of the reason Rudy's so successful in his current role is that he's doing against bench players who really can't handle his height. But that's part of the progression for Rudy's to understand how to impact and when to impact plays against top-line guys.
And then you wonder also, did he tire? I mean, he played 31 minutes tonight, and as you mentioned during the broadcast, I think he played the entire third quarter.
Yes.
And usually guys that's only averaging about 16 minutes a game, and then you get into the style of play, an up-tempo style of basketball game. I mean, he has to cover a lot of ground. He's going baseline to baseline. He's going outside the free throw line, the 3-second line, trying to defend. He has to cover a lot of ground, and he may have tired just a little bit. Just have to wait and see and ask the coaches about that.
I'll be honest, I thought he played better tonight than I thought he was going to.
Yeah, I was very impressed.
I was impressed.
As well. I mean, if you look at the stat sheets, you think, okay, that was adequate for a guy that doesn't really have an offensive game that he can give you.
That wraps us up on Postcast. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back with you on tip-off tomorrow. There's also a Jazz game rewind if you missed it, and hope you're having a good one. Have a good weekend. We will talk to you on Tuesday from New Orleans.